we had a yellow thing, and then we thought, okay, immediately, like we should, do visually something to bring out the colors.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic.
And this is the iGeigie.
So this is the B-Geigie.
Ah, that's the B-Geigie.
Yeah, so this is the one that we attach to cars and drive around with. We have to take this with us, but we figured for the opening, it would be good to just talk about what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
What we're getting so far is like even Gerrit Stocker will come to do the exhibition opening, and then Dietmar and I will briefly introduce each.
Yeah, sure. We'll hang around here and then we can
also,
talk.
like, show me this again because you are the fearless vampire hunter. This is fearless vampire killer. This is how I'll introduce you because everything else is out there on the map, so I have just one piece of information.
Okay. All right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'll introduce Peter, you, and Joy very quickly and stuff, and then we have. I like that. I feel a lot of that.
Very much, thank you.
I just wanted to make sure we can log it.
Ich weiß nur, die größte Lebensstelle ist mein Präsident.
Yeah, so this is the one that we attach to cars and we drive around. I'll take this with me, but I'm here for the opening. It's another piece and we can talk about the project overall, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it works out perfectly. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay, so we're starting. This one is here. I didn't fix it.
Hey Peter, let me show you one modification I made on the
This one?
I wanted to fix this on the ground, and then I thought that if someone tries to pull it, then it's more dangerous thing. Yeah, I can.
Maybe just a little like do not touch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which we will have a tip, but which will is of course for the tunable touch.
Yeah.
So actually it works well because everyone wants to touch. Okay, good. I'm going upstairs. We'll never see it again like this.
Yes, that's
Oh, come on, Peter,
that's why we want to take pictures.
A whole time.
I used to run in our gallery, so I know this is the best time to take pictures. The look is good.
Ja, ich glaube, die kommen alle zu uns. Ich hoffe, die kommen alle zu uns. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. And it's here so that one stuff from die Ausstellung kann nicht offen.
Sorry.
Yes, of course. The keynote will be upstairs in this block.
Yes.
Starting about 50 minutes, which is free. The exhibition will open at 7.
Okay,
So
is
it's
the
not
exhibition
open.
open at
It's
7? Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and the keynote?
It's just upstairs. Just upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
First floor.
First floor.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm leaving. Okay. Good evening.
Okay, Peter, we gotta go. But I gotta show you one thing. We gotta leave.
Just do it.
All right. We can wait like another 20 minutes when we're finished, right? He needs a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have our keynote speaker yet.
And now we are getting in touch with the sensory component of the theme based in sensing place. And I just want to say hello and thank some people. This project was a cooperation of 3 institutions. So my first thanks go to the Ars Electronica, Gerrit Stocker and Stefan Blinkenberg. It was very good for us, and it was hopefully the beginning of a long version of cooperation. The second thanks go to the Austrian Institute of Technology and to Katja personally. She was one of the curators of the whole program, and besides her is standing meet more often over the curator also of the exhibition and the conference. And again, I have to say it was a real pleasure for me to work with them. And it's not only a pleasure, but also I will definitely learn a lot, and you hopefully too. I have to thank also two other persons. We had a lot of work in this room, as you can imagine. And Ingrid Benneker. Great job. He never lost control. And finally, it went out very well. And also, I wanted to thank all the artists. Most of them are here tonight, and they worked a lot in their own projects the last days. So thank you to all of you. And also thanks to Linda Clement. And where is she? Did I forget anyone? No. Okay. So that was the introduction. I don't know who of you were going to speak one sentence. So
our best wishes to this exhibition, and especially express how extremely grateful we are to get such contributions to the festival. We really have to express again, this is a production that was invented, sought after, totally autonomous by you together with Dietmar and with Katja. We made some contributions as good as we can, but I think the most important point is to see that the platform Ars Electronica is really enabling this kind of activities here in the city of Linz, and to see that within this very large international exhibition with all the experts and specialists from all over the world, we do have such a strong infrastructure, so many really excitingly good working people here in the city of Linz, that we are able to do such things as well on a level that is, of course, more than comparable to all the other programs that the festival can offer. So thank you very much, Gabi, for this collaboration. It will be a long term, like many others that we are just starting or working at. Thanks very much, especially to both of you for putting this together. And well, thanks to the artists and thanks to everybody. And
I will just keep it short because I want to give also the artists the opportunity to talk about their work. But just a few hints. The basic idea, the basic question behind this exhibition was how can we experience urban data, environmental information through different sensory channels. So the exhibition is loosely structured into different modes of perception. We have projects that deal with the auditory mode. We have projects that deal with the visual mode, the tactile perception, the kinesthetic perception of movement, and also the invisible or the domains that are not accessible to direct sensory experience, be it like radiation or electromagnetic fields or visits to websites. So maybe just 2 lines about each work. I'm going to start with 3 of them. I'm going to start with Casa Midori by H.O. Is this the correct name? Representatives Imiko and Hide. Their work shows information is usually invisible. The direction of visitors, geographic location of visitors to websites, and it's in a way it's a little bit like an ambient display that you just experience from like a weather vane that you just gives you hints about what the weather is like and where, in this case, where the most interest to this festival comes from.
That's our website, actually.
Yes. Another project, Rico Kulbach, developed. This is a brand new project that was just finished when? 2 days ago. I'm very happy to have this project in the exhibition. It's a glove that lets you feel the shape of electromagnetic fields, and you can easily try this with, you cannot unfortunately wear the glove, but you can experience it with this electric cable and see how the electromagnetic field of the cable is registered by the glove. And behind the curtain, this is the most hidden project. Most people, I guess, have missed it. It's in this little nook in the wall. It's a project by Fabien Girardin and the Central City Lab. And here the idea was to analyze flicker photos that were uploaded by tourists in Spain. So it's not a new project. It was one of the first works that dealt with this data set in 2008. So there was one like an older project here that was really visionary in that sense. And it's really amazing by just looking at the metadata of aggregate images on Flickr, what you can learn from that. So you can, for example, understand how tourists move through the city, where are they going, at what time of the day, what are they photographing, what are they interested in. But you also can find out when does trains start in different regions of Spain, just analyzing the average green component of the photos as it changes throughout the year. And you see that in Andalusia you have a different climate than in and let me hand over to Katja.
We have a few more projects. One we're happy because it extends from this actual space to beyond all of Linz. It's by the featured artists of Ars Electronica of this year, Sennheiser and Stadtmusik, which is Hannes Strobel and luckily Dietmar Offenhuber. And it lets you experience the sound, architecture, and the landscape what the city itself makes. We also have Danny here, say that. Thanks a lot. And it lets you understand how the soundscape of the city changes and what you can actually perceive and hear in the city. If we go on further, one step, we have here the iGeigie. It's a radiation counter for the iPhone. It was conceived by Sean Bonner, who is taking pictures of me all the time. No, it's Peter Franken and Sean Bonner. He's like the fearless vampire killer, and he set up a long Skype talk, and you are actually measuring radiation in Japan. Peter is actually living in Japan, and there was a huge impact on his own life in Tokyo when the Fukushima nuclear power plant exploded. And he has been bringing in hackerspaces Geiger counters to let everybody in Japan perceive and measure the radiation. And what you see here is the first Geige, and then we have somewhere Joey Ito, who is with us, the new director of the Media Lab. He brought the iGeigie to Media Lab, hacked it a bit more in the iGeigie Extreme, and then we have the B-Geige, which you can actually now attach to a car and go around and really measure the radiation and the fallout that we are experiencing in Japan. It's a project to pull attention to safecast.org, where we would like to also you all to join to see where radiation goes. We have 2 more projects. One, unfortunately, the artist could not be here. It's Mahini Dawood. He is a visualization artist and researcher, and he took GPS data. A lot of GPS data from taxis that are going to Vienna for 5 years, and they are walking through this. Okay, and one more project, that's place calls. We have the artists here, Anthony Di Vincenzi and Phil Salas. They set it up, but they actually captured data from Linz, Salzburg, and Vienna, and it gives you a perception of the city. It lets you interact with actually crowdsourced data, and it gives you a qualitative layer of the human perception of a city. So it's adding to something we think is objective, like the data or the sensitive data we have. So you can interact with it, see where people safer, or more upper class, or Vienna and Salzburg. They'll add more cities tomorrow, so tomorrow if you come back, you'll see New York and Boston as well. So thanks a lot. They worked until 5 minutes ago, so you see you got kind of really fresh projects conceived for this, and thanks everyone, and please ask them a lot of questions. Thanks a lot, and the last shout out should again go to Ewald, because without his patience, my obsession for detail would not have made it through. Where is Ewald? Ewald?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy, and drinks are over there.